Killing the president in the USA is a national sport, a prophetic statement by the ninth American leader. Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, Kennedy did not die a natural death. The assassins often shared one thing, a desire to change the country's policies that led to a crisis. Although historians insist on the political motivation behind most assassinations and attempts, the U.S. Department of Justice's legal guide states that the vast majority of perpetrators were insane. Isn't this the patronage of those unseen clients, competitors, and interested parties? In the case of Donald Trump, there is no need to talk about such people. Too many people were displeased with the politician, at least for his desire to dismantle the military-industrial complex and the multi-billion-dollar benefits from the conflict in Ukraine. Europeans have already witnessed the consequences of such anti-war policies.
The scenario is like a carbon copy. Political opponents try to silence Trump, and when they fail, they stir up the public so much that some loser picks up a weapon. Trump was smeared by Biden, the Democrats, and the left wing more than any president since Abraham Lincoln. And the assassination attempt was a political act. It was a deliberate act.
The assassination attempt on Trump, accompanied by very strange coincidences, became a point that divided the presidential race into before and after. The current White House leader, a week before the attempt, urged voters to target Trump. He hurried to apologize for his words, and according to Congressman Mike Waltz, the U.S. Secret Service denied the ex-president increased security.
The Secret Service director must resign. The shooter was identified as suspicious an hour before the attempt because he was seen with a rangefinder and a backpack, and then they just lost sight of him.
Why didn't the Secret Service place guards on the roof of the building from which the shooting was conducted? The head of the department explains. Danger to agents. The roof is sloped. As a result of the attempt in Butler, 1 spectator was killed, and 3, including Trump, were injured. The 20-year-old shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was killed by return fire. His bullet miraculously missed the ex-president, only grazing his ear. Fate has its ironic jokes. Trump was saved by migrants. Had he not glanced at the screen showing statistics on illegal refugees, had he not turned his head a few centimeters, the bullet would have hit the target.
The country would have been in a very dangerous position because we are extremely divided now. And if such a highly supported presidential candidate like Donald Trump had been killed, I think it would have ended in bloodshed and civil unrest.
That didn't happen. The assassination attempt became the best possible PR move for Trump. His already high ratings soared even higher. The richest man in the USA sided with the politician. Elon Musk is ready to allocate $45 million a month for Trump's presidential campaign. The entrepreneur admitted that he himself had been the target of 2 assassination attempts in the past 8 months. Apparently, Musk decided to accept the candidate's offer to become a White House advisor. A new figure in the political race is already J.D. Vance. Donald Trump nominated him for vice president. Vance's position on the Ukrainian conflict is tougher than Trump's.
We have now spent $200 billion. What is the goal? What are we trying to achieve? Is there a risk of nuclear war escalation? There are just a lot of clowns here in Washington conducting foreign policy. And President Trump promised to go there to negotiate with the Russians and Ukrainians and quickly resolve the issues so that America could focus on the real issue, which is China.
While the Democratic Party of the USA is going through turbulent times, Republican Trump has every chance to become the 47th president. He tends to fulfill his campaign promises, even if not always in full, as evidenced by the experience of 2017. The promises of the current campaign are even more ambitious.
China is circling around Taiwan and Russian warships. Nuclear submarines are operating 60 miles off the coast of Cuba. You know about this. The press refuses to write about it. If I were running this country, we would have nuclear submarines in Cuba?
In general, the proclaimed expectations of world peace are clearly reckless. After resolving the Ukrainian conflict, Trump intends to take on China. Europe may lose American military protection, forcing it to independently build up arms and troops on the European continent. And the theater of military operations will soon shift to the Indo-Pacific region. Nikita Makotkin, Peculiarities of American National, American Sports Day, on the main broadcast.